Okay, we'll get started in about 2 minutes. Let me fix my. Oops. You have a block handy if you're going to use it. And welcome to Yoga Flow. As always, should the picture freeze, we'll quickly go off this one and click on to the next one that will be made for us to continue the class. Honor your body. Never do anything that goes beyond what you feel comfortable doing. We're going to work up a little heat. We're going to do it gradually into a flow. But first we'll start standing. This is mountain pose. So press your shoulders down, hands at your side. And if you feel comfortable, close your eyes. So you're getting rid of one of your senses. That means a little less stimulation is coming into the brain, and so the brain is able to be more quiet. But it also means you might lose some of your balance because we use all of our senses for our balance. So if this is the case, simply open your eyes. Otherwise, let's just start breathing in and then breathing out even longer. And remember, as you take your breaths, this is the time to empty your mind. Don't put labels to feelings right now, emotions. Don't let your mind go to places it doesn't need to go. You can't change or do another thing right now for these brief 45 minutes we practice together. So take an inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold it. And then let it go to 6, out through the nose, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathing in again, 1, 2, 3, 4, building up your lungs as you hold it. And then release to 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take another breath yourself, making sure your exhale is longer. The long exhale empties the lungs and helps trigger the parasympathetic nervous system or calming nervous system. Anytime you are busy or stressed or hurting, return to the even breaths, and that will quiet down the physiological body and also the mental, emotional part of the body. Let's open up the hands, lift up all the toes, stretching out here, stimulating the front of the brain, and then let those hands and feet go down. Press your hands up to the center of your chest. Push firmly. This has a balancing effect on both hemispheres of the brain, pressing the hands together. And take another deep inhale and an exhale. Let the hands come down and bring them up. Inhaling up and exhaling all the way down, pressing firmly, balancing. Once again, lift the air around you. Inhale up. This time, flip the palms up and press up. Long stretch. Be aware of your shoulders. Keep them down. And then bring your right arm across the chest. Take your left arm in, pulling it in, stretching the shoulder. Same thing, bring your arms up again, flip those palms. Lower the shoulders. Take the left arm across and the right arm pulls it in. Swing the arms back and then bring them up, pointing up, Temple Mudra. So I have my 2 fingers pointing up, taking my energy from the soles of the feet up to the tops of my fingers. Pull the arms back behind the head and then exhale over to the right. Bringing them up. We want to keep moving the spine. The spine is the center for our nervous system, taking the nerves up towards the brain and down towards the rest of the body. So keep a mobile spine, but always honor its little hurts and pains coming back over. Taking a back bend, and then bring the hands again around behind your back. This time, point down. So you're pressing that energy down to the earth as you start to fold over. Maybe you can bring your fingers up towards the head as the top of the head comes all the way down towards the ground. And then release the hands down the back. Bring them down to your feet. You can always bend, touching the ground, or you can bring your blocks, 1 or 2 blocks to put your hands on. Stretch and bend and stretch and bend. Stretch as much as comfortable. Bring yourself up to a flat back. And then bring yourself all the way down again. 1 more time. Up to a flat back, and this time come all the way up. Inhale up, exhale down. Let's step to the front of our mat. And we'll go down to downward facing dog. So inhale your arms up, exhale forward fold, step back, downward facing dog. This is your first downward facing dog of the day. Be gentle and pedal your feet. Keep pushing away from the hands so the hips are high. Remember, you're pushing your hips towards your heels here. And then come forward into plank, high plank. Bring your knees down, uncurl your toes, elbows back, and press down, chaturanga, and bring yourself up. Upward facing dog. First, though, we're in high cobra. Then curl your toes under, lift up the thighs off the mat, and press back, downward facing dog. Pull the belly in against gravity here and take 2 long breaths. Tiger crouch, looking towards your hands, and step forward. Head is down, head is up. Inhale up and down. I'll adjust the screen. Hopefully better. Yeah, worse. Second time, let's go back to downward facing dog. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, flat back. Exhale, bring the hands down, step back, downward facing dog. Pressing back. Roll forward, high plank. And press back, downward facing dog. 2 more times, rolling forward. Pressing back, rolling forward, pressing back, look towards your hands and walk up once again towards the hands. Head is down, flat spine, and bring yourself all the way up. Once again, coming down to downward facing dog. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, Exhale down, step back, downward facing dog. Lift the right leg up and then bend it and stack one hip over the other, wild dog, so that your right heel goes to the left glute. If you want, you can look over the left shoulder. Keep pushing back towards that left heel and then bring the foot down. Take a breath here. Left leg lifts up, bends, one hip over the other. This time left hip to right glute. Bring the foot down, roll forward, high plank, bend the elbows halfway and pull yourself through, and then back to downward facing dog. Taking 2 breaths here. Look towards your hands, tiger crouch. We'll take a little hop forward, straighten up, straighten the arms, and bring yourself up and down. We'll do that again, and we'll step into wild dog and go to wild thing. So inhale, exhale. Inhale up to a flat back. Exhale down. Step back to your downward facing dog. Start pressing away from the hands and lift your right leg up. Bend it. Same thing, wild dog. This time you're going to keep moving on the ball of the left foot, coming back to wild thing. Both legs are bent, so it's a kind of reverse table and also a back bend. And then bring yourself back and step down. Left leg comes up and bends. Stack the hips, so I'm turning. My hips are opening towards the right. The open part is the left. Bring your foot around, reaching up and over. And then come back to downward facing dog. And take a giant step forward. Forward fold, lift up with a flat back, and inhale up and down. We'll do the same thing, but taking the foot forward after we come out of wild thing. So inhaling and exhaling. Inhale up, exhale down, step back, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts up, bends. Start to flip or not. You can stay here in wild thing, in wild dog. Flip over, wild thing. And now come back, but the right foot steps forward between the hands. Left heel comes down. Left arm is up. Bring the left hand down and step back again, downward facing dog. Continuing the flow with the left leg, left lifts up, bends. You open your hips. You flip over. Stabilize there. Come back. That left leg is lifted. Step it forward. Right heel down. Right arm opens. Bring the hands down. This time let's step back leg to front. Forward fold. Come up. Inhale. Exhale. We'll go down to three-legged dog and then try either regular chaturanga or one-legged plank. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhale, exhale down, step back, downward facing dog. Lift the right leg up. Step it through the hands. You're in a deep lunge. This is where either you're going to bring your right leg back for chaturanga or keep it up for the one-legged plank. Press down, press up, and down. Taking 2 breaths here. Left leg lifts up. Steps forward. Deep lunge here. Press down for chaturanga. Leg is up, bending elbows down, pressing up and down. Taking some breaths here. Let's do a tiger crouch, looking towards the hands, and a little hop forward. Straighten the legs, straighten the arms, and inhale up and down. Take your body side to side. It's warming up. So we'll take another chaturanga coming from warrior 1. Inhale up. 1 movement, 1 breath. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Bend, step or hop back to plank. Bend the elbows and pull yourself through. Pressing back. Taking a breath here. Let's take the right leg up. We're going to step into warrior 1. Step forward between the hands. You can always pull your leg up. Put the other heel down and bring the arms up. Warrior 1. Hips face front. Open. Warrior 2. Keep the right knee out to the side over the second and third toes. And then inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale. Exhale. Reverse the warrior. And come to side angle. Left arm is right over the ear. Come back up, warrior 2. And then back where you started, warrior 1. Bring your hands down. 1 or 2-legged plank, chaturanga. I'm going to do 2 legs this time, so I take it back next to the other leg. Come forward, elbows back, and pull myself through. And then pressing up. Taking 2 breaths here. Tiger crouch, looking forward, and take a hop and come up. I want to show you about pulling through onto the backs of the feet. Let me see how we can show this down here, just so we all are kind of on the same page. Okay, so when I'm, need it back by my feet. Okay. So I'm in plank chaturanga, coming down, pulling through, I come onto the backs of the feet. Coming back up, I curl back over my toes and bring myself back up. So what I want you to try with your feet, and we'll do it with the left leg. So inhale up, exhale in. Inhale half up, exhale down, step back to downward facing dog. Lift the left leg up, step it through. Right heels down, and come up to warrior 1. Open warrior 2. Inhale, fingers touch, make that connection. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Reverse the warrior. And then come to side angle. Right arm over the ear. If it's hard on your shoulder, spin it around in front of you to get it up to the ear. Come back to warrior two. And back to warrior one. And then come on down. Step that left foot back. Chaturanga. Roll forward, pull down. You have to roll forward to get onto the backs of those toes, pressing back. And here you are again, downward facing dog, taking 2 breaths. Tiger crouch, looking towards your hands. Take a big step or a hop. Straighten the legs, straighten the arms, and inhale yourself up and down. Taking a moment before we continue just to do a balance. So we'll do eagle. Eagle is right over left. You can have your toes on the ground or pick them up. Bend the knee, knee to knee. And then left over right. Let's hold this breath once, or take your breath. Take one long in and out before releasing the eagle into the tree. Taking 2 breaths here. 2 long yoga breaths. Before bringing the knee front, take the arms back, and you're in warrior 3. Stretch out, flex that foot, holding it here for 3 breaths. After your 3rd breath, come down and release. Left leg comes across over the right. Remember, you can always put the toe down if balancing is difficult or challenging. You get the same pressure in the hips, in the bones, and your mind is thinking balance. So this is my eagle, left over right, right over left. And we're taking 1 long breath here so that we can release this eagle into the tree. And take your 2 breaths. 2 long yoga breaths. Now you know where it's going. After your 2nd breath, you're bringing your knee forward, the arms back, taking flight into warrior 3. Press the heel. So I'm pressing back as I go forward. After the 3rd breath, lowering it down. And just take a moment standing in mountain pose. Let the chin come to the chest. Pick up the chin and let the head go back, opening up the jaw, the teeth. And then bring your head back. Once again, we'll come down to downward facing dog. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale up to a flat back, and here you lengthen that spine. Bring the hands down, spread the fingers, and step back. Once again, downward facing dog. Lift up the right leg and take it out to the side. Bring it then between the 2 hands. Bend the leg here. Put your right hand down and your left arm opens up. Both hands come down. The leg comes back You can stay in downward facing dog or take another chaturanga and pull yourself through and back. Pull the belly button in towards the spine, and let's lift up the left, take it out to the side, and then around, bend that front leg. Both feet face front, right hand comes down or on the block, open up the left. Take the hand down, and this time we'll bring the back leg to the front. Forward fold. Look up, arms out. Inhale and exhale. Step forward. Straight leg warrior two. So both legs are straight, and my hips face the side, and my left foot goes that way, my right one is that way, so we can go into triangle. Pull yourself up, elongate here, bring the arms out because you're going to stretch forward as far forward as you can, and then bring one hand down, the other up. We always have to remember not to let our little booty stick out here, so you can bring your hand in front if that's no problem for you, but if you tend to come forward in your triangle like that, and I sometimes tend to go forward, bring the hand behind you for triangle. It can always be higher, it doesn't have to touch the ground. Let's take one more breath here, and then bring yourself up, bring the toe forward, so both toes now face forward, and the left one faces the back of the room. Same thing on the left side for triangle. Stretching forward as far as you can go. Getting this torso over the knee almost. Press forward, and then one hand comes down and the other goes up. If you're able to look up at your right hand, do so. Otherwise, just look down at the foot. And take one more breath. Bringing yourself up. Both toes now face front. Make sure they're on a line so one isn't higher than the other. Hands come on the hips and hinge. A nice wide forward fold. Hands come to the floor. We'll do a wide-legged downward facing dog. So I'm pressing my heels back as I'm reaching forward. Wide downward facing dog. Should feel like a fairly nice stretch for you. And then walk your hands in and put your left hand right under your face. Turn to the right and open up the right arm. Bring the right arm down. Turn to the left, open up the left. Bringing them both down to come up out of this, hands go back on the hips and you hinge up. Once you're up, turn your heels in. Press the pelvis forward and bring up the arms. Sometimes called goddess pose, sometimes called fierce angle. And we press down. Watch the knees, pressing down, rising up. Two more, pressing down, rising up. Last one, press down, rise up, and then toe, heel, all the way back in together. Let's take the right foot forward. No, come into chair pose. So the legs are parallel. They can be touching or not. Arms come back, inhale back, and exhale into chair. Chair is a squat, so you're coming back like that. That's our chair pose. While here, adding in the balance, we're going to lift up the right, and come all the way onto the ball of the right foot for high crescent, and then lift up your chest. You're in high crescent. Keep the arms up and open to the left for the twist. Press back against your own body. Coming out of it, bring your arms up and come back to your chair pose, still in that squat. Same thing, root the left one down. No, root the right one down and come back with your left onto the ball of that foot. Reach up to open to the right. Coming out of that, bring the arms up, come back into your chair, and then straighten the legs as you fold over. Exhale over, inhale up, chaturanga, exhale down, or just step back to downward facing dog. Otherwise, step back to plank, roll forward, elbows down, pull yourself through and up, and then press yourself back, taking 2 breaths here. Tiger crouch, looking forward, and take a little hop. Straighten the legs, straighten the arms, and inhale up. Exhale down. Let's come on down again to downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale, inhale, come up, exhale, step back, downward facing dog, pressing back. And then roll forward to come down onto all fours, uncurling your toes. Right arm lifts out for thread the needle. Threading it underneath the left and coming down onto your right shoulder. If you feel comfortable, take your left arm around the back. This is where the left shoulder is stacked on the right, so don't let it come forward and kiss your cheek, but keep it up. And then the left arm is up next to the face, releasing the right arm up and down. Belly drops, and you're inhaling your head up. Exhale, rounding. Inhale, up, cat-cow. 2 more. Round and release. Inhale, exhale. Come to the flat back, and this time take your left arm out to the side, thread it underneath onto your left shoulder. And if you did it on the one side, do it here. Take the right arm around and the shoulders up. Bring that right arm back to the face. Release the left. Press back, curling the toes under and lift back up. Downward facing dog, taking 2 breaths here. Look towards your hands, step forward, forward fold, look up, inhale, and exhale. We'll put this into a sun salute B. So that starts with chair and goes into a warrior 1 that we open up to do humble warrior, coming back up, and then we do the one-legged plank or 2-legged. When you do that one-legged plank, you can always tap your foot down, lift it up. So let's inhale. Start with chair. Inhale up. Exhale, come down. Inhale up. Exhale, spread your fingers. If you want to take a jump, you're going to land on bent elbows. So bend your elbows, come back, press down, and pull through. Remember back. So the feet press back, downward facing dog. Lift the right leg up, three-legged dog, and step between your hands to come up to warrior one. Once here, we'll bring our arms around the back. Open up the foot a little bit wider so there's room for our body to go down into humble warrior. Press forward. This is two where you bring your arms up if that's available. Press down inside your knee. Maybe bring the arms up. Humble and strong. Let the arms float down your back, either side of your foot, that you walk back in to get good purchase for the chaturanga. Lifting the leg up, coming down. Tap if you want. Up and down. Lift the left one, same thing, up. Step between your hands. You can always pull it forward if it doesn't go between the hands. Spin the back heel down. Warrior one. Open up. Move your hands behind your back. Pull back. Lift up the chest, pride, and then come in inside the knee or on top of the knee. Humble warrior. Be careful you don't roll in on your back foot. Hands come down. You're in a lunge here, giving yourself a little momentum to lift that leg up. Chaturanga, tap, up and down. Taking 2 breaths here. And then we end in a chair pose. So you can tiger crouch, look towards your hands, step forward, bent legs, touch the ground, make a connection, end in chair, take 2 breaths. And come up. The last power type pose that we'll do will be plank to side plank. So remember, in your side plank, you can always put the leg in front or in back. As you build up the strength, you do a side plank, or if you never want to do a side plank, remember wherever you are is just where you should be, and it's just perfect. Especially now, no one's judging where you are, what you're doing. So let's just get ourselves down to plank. Inhale, exhale. Inhale up, exhale, bend. Walk the hands forward. Stretch out your legs. We're in high plank. I think I'll turn sideways. Hope that's good. High plank. So our first plank will be to the left, just because I think that's convenient on the screen. So I'm moving both my heels to the left. That can be your side plank, or you can take the right one and put it over the left. Keep lifting in the middle of your body so you don't sink down. Let's come back to plank. High plank, straight arms. And we'll do the other side. Pivot to the right, so you're on the knife right edge of your right foot. Maybe the left's on top, maybe it's behind, maybe it's in front, but you're lifting from your waist. And come back, and let's come down onto the knees and press our hips back towards the heels, stretching out the front arms. And we'll just unroll the spine. So inhale up, elbows back, press down and lift up. And again, press your hips all the way back to your heels. And inhale up and press through. pressing back. Take the arms around to the heels and let your brow touch the mat. Bring your hands next to the head and press up. Right foot steps forward. Stretch it out in front of you. Bring both hands to the side to the right. Pressing your hips back. And then come forward. Cat just demonstrated it. And press over. Bringing yourself forward. And then pressing back. And forward. And back to all fours. I'm going to bring the screen down for the other side. Okay, so as we lift our left leg forward, straighten it out and bend over. Come up, bring both hands to the left and stretch here. And then come back, one hand on either side as you bend your hips forward, opening up and pressing back. And open up and press back. Both knees back together. Come down to seated. And we'll pull the right knee in and take it up. Hold it up as you come onto your back. Pull it in as close as you can towards your head. And then bend it to step onto the left thigh, left hand to the knee, and pull over to the side. Thinking about your right shoulder. Where you put your focus is where your energy goes. So you never want to waste your energy focusing on something unnecessary. Right now we're just focusing on keeping the right shoulder down. If you want to take this stretch a little further, bend back that straight leg and maybe reach for the toes. And then release it, coming back onto your back. Pull the knees in and rise up to seated. Stretch out and lift up the left. Flex both feet and bring yourself back down, holding this leg up, pulling it in towards the brow. And then bend it, putting it onto the right thigh. Right hand brings it over towards the right, but at the same time, you're thinking about your shoulder. So it doesn't matter how far over this knee goes. The idea is the twist is below the waist and the knee is coming to the side. Only if you want to take it further do you bend back this other leg and reach for it. Once you're done with that, straighten the leg, straighten the other leg. You're ready for Shavasana, the final pose of yoga where you lie on your back. The teeth are slightly separated. The hands are just relaxed. No fists. The eyelids are soft. There's nothing else to do but to feel your belly rise and fall. A very important moment in yoga where everything becomes assimilated. So you're still lying on your back, breathing in and breathing out. And a quote that I like is that every cell in your body eavesdrops on your thoughts. meaning that your body's responding to whatever you're thinking. So keep your thoughts simple, keep them clear, and simply inhale and exhale. In this way, you're training your mind to be stronger than your emotions. When someone says go with the flow, ideally you would be going with the flow of your breath, not the flow of somebody else's agenda. So keep your breath moving in and out and go within with your own flow. You can stay longer in this Shavasana as I'll start to end the class. You don't need to come up out of it. If you prefer, you can stay breathing in and out. Otherwise, for everyone else who's watching it, you take a deep inhale and a longer exhale. You connect again, fingers to the universe, fingers to self. So touch your thumb to each of your fingers while you're on your back. You bring your knees up, turning to the left side, which is the side of the evening. And then finally straightening out the arms, coming back into a seated position. Once again, fold the hands in front of you. Be so appreciative of yourself for doing this, self-care. So thank yourself, turn into yourself. And then from the divine in me to the divine in you, thank you so much for joining me and sharing your positive energy. Namaste. Hope to see you guys next time. Thank you so much for joining me. Please let me know if there's anything you want to do.